Right, continue a short series on tiny basic rigs. Most of the rigs I showed earlier didn't really show to do the actual knots, just to do the rigs. This is not about any of the fancy Albright, FG or all the other funny knots. Basic knots that you need to go fishing. Start off with a blood knot. Imagine this is your hook or whatever you're tying to. Just using this because it's bigger so it's easy to see. Thread the line through. Wrap it round 3, 4, 5 times. Generally thicker the line the more turns you put in. Back through that loop there, back down through that. Now the big thing is at this point you should wet it. Just reduces the friction. You ever run your hands along nylon line, you burn your fingers. By just wetting it, you don't get the heat build up. Pull it up tight, make sure all the tags are in. As with all your knots, keep it off as tight as you can. Perfectly tight, not going to slip. Get rid of that. Second one we're going to do is called a uni knot or Grinner knot. Again, pass it through, then take the line and throw a loop. Goes into the loop naturally. Take the loose end, thread it back through, again 3, 4 times, thinner the line, more turns you put in, simply like that. Take hold, again wet it, pull it up tight, never going to slip. Harder you pull, tighter it gets. Third knot, simple, joining your shock leader. Loads of ways of doing it, this is the simplest way. Take your lighter line, it's a bit of 10 pound mono, take your heavier shock leader. Figure of 8 knot means you go right the way round, back in from the back, you have a figure of 8. Take the lighter line, put it up through that knot, back down through, lays along, pull the heavier line tight, then either your blood knot or your Grinner knot at the back of that, take that, put your loop, whip back through the loop, again about 5 times with this thinner line. Again, people said, oh, my leader knots bang and rattle through the rings and catch. Well, sorry, there's no polite way to put this. If your leader knot's catching on the rings, simple answer, mate, you're tying a rubbish knot.